Hi, this is Omar at Top 5 E-Bikes, and this is a Haybike Sola. If you haven't subscribed to Top 5 E-Bikes and you enjoy our content, please subscribe. We're really close to 2,000 subscribers at the time I'm filming this. So I want to thank everyone that's subscribed to our channel, those of you that have left comments, questions, feedback, constructive criticism, all of it. We really like it. Thank you. Also, check out our website, top5ebikes.com, because we do have a lot of content that we've been loading up on the website on top of the YouTube channel. In this review, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So we've been mixing it up of late, but I'm going to go over the specs of the Sola, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts as I'm riding. So we're going to do this like vlogging style. And then I'm going to close it out and give you my final thoughts. All right, let's get into the specs of the Haybike Sola. So you see here that we have ours in a lime green. There's 3 different colors. We got this green colored one. This bike currently costs $1,099. Let me go over the main specs of it. It comes with a 500 watt rear hub motor, which is a branded motor for Haybike, and you see that there. Battery wise, we have a 48 volt, 15 amp hour. So a decent sized battery for a city bike, I would say. And then the biggest spec, you can't really see it here, is that you have a torque sensor. So a torque sensor in a bike, that's $1,100. That's amazing. Tires, you have the 27.5 by 2.1 inch. So thicker tires. It's not like a road bike. It's thicker than a road bike tire, so that's kind of nice. It'll cushion the bump. And you have mechanical brakes. You have these like faux leather grips. A throttle on the right, a right thumb throttle. You see the Shimano thumb shifter. And here you see the screen. Let me turn this on. Kind of basic information. One thing that's kind of nice is Haybike does have an app that's integrated with this. So the screen will show you the voltage that's left on the battery. You'll see speed, pedal assist level, and some other settings. And then one thing that's kind of nice here is that you have a button where you have the light and a horn. So that's the horn. So this comes integrated with the horn. You also have an adjustable stem, which is another nice feature for a bike in this price range, because normally that's not something that comes in a bike that's a little bit over $1,000. So other specs are this rear light. It's not integrated, but you can charge it, and you have a rear light. You have a tourney derailleur. This does come with a chain, so it's not like a Gates Carbon bike. You have a front light, and there you have it. Those are the main specs of the Haybike Sola, which is a torque sensor, 500 watt city commuter bike. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with this review. I'm going to narrate the test ride. Normally, we just kind of voice over it. We show you B-roll. But I'm just going to narrate it. So this is the Sola by Haybike. Haybike, as a company, we've been aware of. We've never reviewed a bike of theirs. This is the first one. But the City Run, which is like a city hybrid commuter, it's just it's a 750 watt with a front suspension. I really like that style of e-bike, so that's why I was aware of them. They also have the Ranger, which is a foldable e-bike, and they're about to come out with the Ranger S, which is an upgraded version of it, and it's comes with a 750 watt motor. It has hydraulic brakes, hydraulic suspension, integrated app, just like this one. So if you're interested in one of these like bikes like the Cinch, so it actually looks a lot like the Aventon Cinch, but with slightly better specs because it does have a more powerful motor. You can check it out. I think it's $14.99. So they have a couple bikes that I really like. This one we really like because I'm into these lighter city commuter bikes, and the one thing about this one that really appealed to me personally was that it has a torque sensor. So as far as I'm aware, I think this is probably the bike that's out on the market right now that's the most affordable that has a torque sensor. I've been riding a few torque sensor e-bikes like the Aventon Adventure Point 2, the Juiced Rip Current S, among other bikes that have a torque sensor, and it's just so cool. I just prefer them over a cadence sensor because it's a more natural cycling feeling, and you don't feel jerkiness in between pedal assist levels. And the other thing I really like about a torque sensor is that like right now I'm just kind of going I'm not going fast, I'm going really slow. I'm at 12-13 miles per hour, and I'm on pedal assist level 5. If I was on some other bike, the pedal assist level is tied to a certain speed, and so it would have been pushing me. But the really cool thing is, as soon as if I put more pressure, then all of a sudden we go up in speed, which is kind of nice, or I can slow down. So the torque sensor, in my opinion, is probably the main reason why you should look at this bike if you're looking for a bike that's around 50 pounds, that's a city commuter type. There are other cool things about this bike that I like. I like that it has, I think they're 2.1 inch wide tires, so it's kind of nice. Actually, so right now we're going uphill. I'm on pedal assist level 5. And this is a hill that I go up with a bunch of bikes. Not really pushing too much, but I was like at 12-13 miles per hour. So it does okay on hills, actually. And I think that's probably because it's a 750 watt peak, it seems like, just based on the output. And let me change the screen so maybe you can see this. Going through distance, now we have wattage. So it's a nominal 500 watts, but I've seen it peak around 700, so right now it's almost at 700, but it might peak at 750. Sorry about the wind. Hopefully this wind muff is going to help. So it's got, relatively speaking, and keep this in mind that we're talking about commuter e-bikes that are around 50 pounds. I'm not talking about, 1,000 watt beast that's a fat tire e-bike, but like relatively speaking for this category, it's got a pretty powerful motor, because a lot of e-bikes that are 50 pounds have like a 350 watt, 250 watt that'll peak at 350, 500. So this has got something that peaks at more than 500 watts. So it's kind of nice. So you got a little bit of power for a city commuter bike. Again, it's 50 pounds. It has 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery, which is, on par, if not bigger than most bikes in this category that are 50 pounds or less. Another thing is kind of nice that because it's 50 pounds, you can probably, if you take off the battery, you can likely put this on a bike rack. So a regular bike rack, I should say, like your regular bike rack that you would put on, with hooks on your trunk. You could also probably even store this inside of some pulley system, where if the max weight is 50 pounds, and if you take off the battery, for sure it would be 50 pounds. So I kind of like that it's a lighter bike. So it's really approachable. And my wife, she normally rides most bikes that we have. She hasn't ridden this one, but I think she's going to like it because it's a torque sensor, it's light, and it's just a really approachable bike. It doesn't come with a rack or fenders, although you can buy the rack for it. But it does have a bunch of extras, which are kind of nice for an $1,100 bike. It comes with an adjustable stem, so that's something you don't normally see with an $1,100 bike. Also, it has a horn. It's kind of loud, but it has a horn. It has two ways to turn on the lights, which is kind of weird. So obviously you can tell they added this. So there's this button here right next to the horn, which makes it easy. And then there's also the pedal assist plus button, which then you can, if you press that, it'll turn on. According to the app, and I guess that's another call out about this. It has an app. There's a few features you can there's a few options or, you know, things you can edit within the app, and you can track, you know, your rides and whatnot. But according to the app, it goes 28 miles per hour. At least there's a max of 28 miles per hour. I've only been able to go around 23 miles per hour, and then I kind of start ghost pedaling at 23. I actually read the manual. A lot of times I don't read the manual unless I have an issue, but this model, or this particular version that I got, which is probably one of the earlier versions, the throttle doesn't work in conjunction with pedal assist. So I have to be in pedal assist level 0 in order for the throttle to work. It looks like, based on the manual, that now if you buy one, the newer versions of this, actually you can use them in conjunction, which is cool, because that would have been one of my big negatives. If you haven't heard, or maybe it's because I have the mic up here by me, but the one thing I don't like about this bike, which kind of, you know, this is for the first thing I would change on this bike, is I would just get better brake pads, because these are pretty low-end brake pads. Not surprised, it's an $1,100 bike, it's a city bike, you know. They're mechanical, but the pads themselves are, I don't think, really good. I tried adjusting, didn't really do much as far as stopping power, so, or at least I didn't see an improvement, I should say, over the stopping power. I mean, I can stop, it's not unsafe, but, you know, I'd spend $20 and just upgrade the braking pads, and then that way you got a little bit more braking power. Just from riding this, probably, I think I'm at about 25-30 miles right now. But the other thing I've realized after riding is that you do have these faux, I don't know if they're faux, they seem leather, like leather grips, which are kind of nice. But the handlebars themselves aren't that comfortable. This is going to be a seated commuter. So that might be something that you would at some point consider modifying, but I think it's fine short term, or if your ride was 5 miles each way, this would be fine. It does come with the integrated light in the front, and then in the back it has a light which is not integrated, so I wish they would have just added an integrated backlight. It's kind of nice. It also is in a weird position because it's they placed the rear light like literally under the saddle, which is a natural place for most people to lift their e-bike. Actually, a lot of saddles that come with a handle there. So when I first assembled this bike, I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. I might break this off. So, but they should have made it integrated, I think. At least I guess at least it comes with some type of light for the rear. And I think the placement is terrible. Like the screen is also nice. I mean, it's big. It tells you speed. It tells you the wattage, which has been kind of nice. Pedal assist level, so it gives you the basics, and then it gives you the voltage left on the battery, which I also prefer over just an indicator. I mean, I think overall it's been a really fun bike to ride, but I've really been into torque sensors of late. And if you're looking for a lighter bike, so something under 50 pounds or less, and you're looking for more of a natural style, or you live somewhere that's relatively flat and you're looking for an affordable e-bike, this is a good option. I mean, if you're looking for a bike around $1,100, you got a lot of options these days in affordable bikes. I mean, they're all very different than this one. Like, for example, the electric brand of bikes, that's a very different bike because it's a fat tire, foldable, weighs more than this one. There's also like the Ride One Up Roadster, which are more of like road bikes, don't have a throttle, really light, really small batteries, small motor. So in comparison to, say, some of those bikes like the Roadster or the Hurricane or the Velotric Thunder, this has a bigger motor, it has a throttle, so there's a couple benefits. And this is more upright style rather than say kind of those bikes where they have thinner like the frame and the tires are more like a road bike almost. So this is more for city riding, just kind of a cruiser type city e-bike. So I think at this point we've talked over the specs of the Haybike Sola. I've kind of given you my thoughts as I'm riding. Now we're going to get into my final thoughts on this e-bike. All right, so now that we reviewed the specs, I've given you my feedback as I was riding real time. Let me close this out for you, and here are my final thoughts on the Haybike Sola. By the way, at the time you're watching this, there might be a promo. Haybike did provide a promo code for Top 5 e-bikes viewers, so if you're interested in buying this bike, use our affiliate link, and there might be a promo code depending on when you see it. At the time that we're filming, the promo code is $100 off, so this bike is $10.99, so potentially it costs you around $1,000 if at the time that, depending on the timing of when you're watching this. I think this is a great option for those that are looking for a city commuter bike that's lightweight and is affordable. And if you're looking for a bike that has more of a cycling feel as in an e-bike, this is perfect because it has a torque sensor. And I can't emphasize that point enough. It's a torque sensor for a bike that's $1,000 or $1,100. That's pretty amazing. You're not going to find many bikes with the torque sensor that are this affordable today. So I really like this bike. There's definitely things that I thought could have been better. It's also such a low price that it's hard to be so negative on some of these points. Like for example, the brakes are really low end. You could easily upgrade those. You can get brake pads that are a little bit nicer. The other things I don't like the shifter. The app doesn't provide, many data points, but it is kind of nice to have an app. But to me, the biggest reasons why I would buy this are because it's affordable, it's lightweight at 50 pounds, it has a torque sensor, and it has a motor that's 500 watts that peaks at 750 watts almost. So you got a powerful motor, torque sensor, affordable, and it's lightweight. Let us know what you think. If you're thinking about this bike or a city commuter bike or a lightweight bike, if you're considering this one or if you ended up buying another bike, please let us know what you think or if you have any questions or comments, and thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, visit us at top5ebikes.com or some of our social media accounts. Thank you.